How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of our Lorbeck Luxury Cars Friday Drive. Now we've got something a little bit different today, the Alpine A110, a car that is rich with history, and as I was doing more research, I found so many cool things about this car. Light, nimble, and super exciting to drive. I can't wait to get started. The Alpine A110, starting out in 1962 with their iconic styling cues of a design that's lightweight yet sturdy and compete for racing throughout history. Then leading on to the current specification that we're driving today, a 1.8 litre turbocharged engine producing 249 brake horsepower. However, it only weighs 706 kilograms, utilising a 7-speed dual clutch system and a full aluminium construction to keep the weight down. To list a few of the motorsport accolades that the Alpine racing team with the A110 and throughout history with their partnership with Renault have achieved. In 1971, the World Rally Championship for manufacturers, including the Monte Carlo Rally. 1973, they came first in the World Rally Championship. 1975, Tour de Course winners. 1974, European Sports Car Championship, partnership with Renault. And 1978, they won the 24 Hours of Le Mans overall with partnership with Renault, leading into the fact that the Le Mans 24 Hours is actually this weekend with an Alpine competing in the hypercar class. So we'll have a little look at the exterior of the car, and there's a couple of details that I absolutely love, and that is these front headlights here, those circular ones at the front. It's almost as if it's like an ode to the car that was racing at the Monte Carlo Rally, heading through the snow with those big front headlamps so that the driver can see where they're going. And as you come around the car, you can see that sleek, rounded look, that light and nimble feeling that the car has with that philosophy that Alpine have for their vehicles. Now I can't wait to take this thing for a drive. So let's go. With both the Le Mans 24 Hours and the Formula One Grand Prix in Canada this weekend, I found it really interesting. We were just having to think about Alpine and its history. You know, they won the Le Mans 24 Hours in the 70s. They won the Rally World Championship, and then there's this big sort of break for the most part in their racing history and for the brand. And then Renault has taken over. They started to do their own thing. You saw Renault in Formula One with the likes of Kimi Raikkonen driving for them. And that shift then in branding back to Alpine, you know, with more recently the likes of Jack Doohan, Pierre Gasly and Colapinto, you look at what their history stands for, and it is that pinnacle of motorsport. Now, even to the point of so many manufacturers, more so than Formula One, are going to the Le Mans 24 Hours in a hypercar class. It's the pinnacle for those manufacturers for their sports car programs and highlighting the technology that they have, but also the prowess they have in design. Now, Formula One is restricted, much like the WEC, the World Endurance Championship, but in Formula One it is more of a brand. They're Formula One cars, whereas you look at the World Endurance Championship with Ferrari, Aston Martin now going in with their Valkyrie, there's talks of Mercedes and McLaren going, Toyota, there's 10 manufacturers, Lamborghini even. You look at, they're all choosing that platform aside from GT racing as their vehicle to accelerate their brand, to show it at the highest level of motorsport, you know. And with Alpine, you know, they've got the likes of Mick Schumacher, Michael Schumacher's son, racing for the team, ex-Formula One driver. The quality that they're bringing in is massive, and it just feels right that Alpine is in that space as well as Formula One. It's great that they're in F1, it's huge for the brand, and with the new electric vehicles they're bringing out, I think it's over 400 horsepower all-electric car. It looks amazing. The colorways typical of this sort of Alpine blue is sensational, but it just feels right that that's where they are. They deserve to be there. Renault Group is massive, and having taken over with that support, you know, without Renault, maybe that Le Mans win back in the 70s doesn't happen. But having said that, they're kind of where they should be, and I think that's really, really important for the brand. The comfortability of this car surprised me a lot. You think about other sports cars like Lotuses, Exiges, Elizas that are similar in a lot of ways. Maybe not so much the Emira, it's a little bit more expensive, but that comfortability is missing, you know, sometimes with MX-5s or that sort of car. Whereas with this, I just feel like I'm super comfortable, but when I want to have a crack and drive it, we're coming up to the roundabout now. I'm going to indicate to the right. We're going to carry a little bit of speed, and as I'm turning around, it just keeps gripping and gripping and gripping, and as I turn more, it just rotates really nicely. And then that pickup of the throttle on the exit is just so seamless, but you get to 60 so quickly that you have to pull out of the throttle. And that's what this car is about. It's that feeling I just felt there of heading up to the, if you're in Melbourne, up to the Black Spur. You can take them on track. This one never was, but enjoyed for what it's for. And actually, if you were to do a long drive, go on a driving tour with some friends and head up through some twisty mountainous roads, you're actually going to get out of the thing and just feel $1 million at the end of it. And I think that speaks volumes for the car, because I wasn't expecting that initially. That was so much fun. This thing is everything that I thought it was going to be and a little bit more. I love the pops and the splutters that you come from when you put it into sport mode, and the understanding of the philosophy that Alpine have had since the 60s when these cars were first ever built just shows and rings true for this car itself. Now make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, click the like button and follow for next time, and we'll see you soon.